What's up, fellow hunters and huntresses? You've heard it a million times. You keep reading about it in the magazines. Hunting is in the decline. It's more important than ever to get people outside, and it's great to start people young. There's tons of youth seasons throughout the country. It's become to where it's a week before the actual season starts. It's a great opportunity to get those young ones out. But you want to do it safely, and you want to make sure they have fun, because if they have a bad experience, they're not going to want to keep going. They're not going to want to keep hunting, all right? So here is tips and tricks that I've learned over the past several years of taking my own kids that you can use to make sure they have a good time. If you are not already a subscriber, I'd really appreciate it if you take the time to go to that bottom right there and click on that thing, or you can go down to the bottom where it says subscribe, hit that subscribe button, shows me support, maybe hit the like button, and hit the notification button for more videos like this. The first thing you really want to concentrate on is you really want to make sure that they know their equipment. And I'm not just talking about their shotgun or, whatever weapon they're going to be using to hunt these turkeys with, but I'm talking about their clothes. I'm talking about the blinds. I'm talking about decoys. I'm talking about everything. You want them to know what it's for, because if they're not asking you questions when they're out there, then they're a little bit more quiet. And also, their curiosity is going to be sparked by knowing what exactly you have certain things for. They want to know what your calls are. They want to know all that stuff. They want to know their equipment. So you're going to want to familiarize them a little bit anyway, even if it's just to show them what it is and to show them what it does before you go hunting. That's the important key part there, before you go hunting. So one big thing I think people overlook is that you're going to want to put them in the clothes that they're going to be hunting in, and you're going to want them to kind of walk around and get used to that. My son, he wants to be in a ghillie suit. He's, all into this stuff. He's all into like snipers and, Army Ranger stuff, because he's seen, and heard me talk about this stuff, so he's super into it. And so the ghillie suit is super cool to him, and he wants to wear it. Now, I've explained to him that they're kind of hard to walk around in. They grab a lot of thorns, and when it's spring here, you're going to be dragging sticks with you with this ghillie suit. So I made him get in it and walk around in the woods, and he's been in it before, and so he's not, taken aback by it when we actually go out there. It's not a surprise to him. So if they're going to be wearing something like that, you definitely want to put it on. If anything, just a bird just flew in here and flew by my head. Anyway, you just want them to be familiar with what they're wearing, the clothes that they're wearing. If it's something bulky or something like that, get them in it and get them used to it, so they're not trying to do this new experience the morning of the hunt or the night before, right? So just be prepared in that way and have them already used to the gear and the equipment and the clothing that they're going to be having to wear. If it's deer hunting, you want them to put on the orange vest. Make sure it fits them right. Make sure it's not going to obstruct their shooting. The next thing I want to say is just let them have fun, right? So, I know back in the day, a lot of us grew up hunting with, somebody, and maybe we just kind of tagged along. They were in their season, because I think youth season's relatively new for a lot of places. I know they had it when I was a kid, but I don't think I ever had anybody take me on youth season, specifically on that season. It was just like they were going out to hunt, and I was tagging along. And so the fun, them trying to make it fun for me is not, and I don't blame them at all, but when you're going out youth hunting, it's all about them. That is all that matters. Is, number one, their safety, and number two, you want them to have a lot of fun. You are there for them. You are like their guide. You are, supervising. You're showing them the ropes, right? So you want to make sure that they are having fun. And so with that, kids love to eat. They love to eat, junk food and stuff like that. Just be careful what you bring out there. You don't want them super hyper. You don't want to bring a bunch of Halloween candy. I've learned that the hard way, because they're going to be jumping and bouncing off the walls, and and it can honestly ruin a hunt, and it has for me. I've just gotten so, like, I just can't take, you know, the immediate, and they're my own kids too, so I gotta hear them when I get home anyway. So it can really ruin a hunt. So you gotta also be cognizant of, you know, how much noise does that make when you're opening it up. If you want to take chips, because they love chips, you want to make sure you put it in like a Ziploc bag or something. Don't take a chip bag out there. I also know that the hard way. Okay, if you've seen some of my other videos, you see we kind of poke fun around it, but honestly, it can be extremely loud and extremely obnoxious. So if you're gonna take somebody out, you really want to prepare for that, and you want to try to take out all that stuff that you possibly can that can make your hunt not as fun for them. You know, because if you're irritated with them, you know, they can sense it, and it's just not as fun, right? You're there to have fun, and you want them to have fun. You don't want them to sense that, you know, you're irritated at them or whatever. So make sure you bring snacks, make sure you bring lots of food, make sure you bring lots of water and drinks or whatever, you know, but be careful what you bring, and make sure you think about it and it's well thought out. Then the next thing I'm gonna say is fairly obvious, but not so much. I always tell my sons or my daughters when they're about to go out, they come out, you know, in like a sweatshirt, and it's like 30 degrees outside, and they say, well, I'm not cold now. You're not cold now, but when you sit for an hour and a half, you're gonna be very cold. So make sure they're gonna be comfortable. Bring extra clothes. Have them bring extra clothes, and then you bring extra clothes in case they need it, because you can never have enough clothes. You can never have enough, you know, warm jackets and things like that. Bring some of those hot hands and stuff like that. Bring a buddy heater. It's okay, you know. You don't have to be this tough, hard person. You know, I don't like to bring buddy heaters because, you know, I kind of feel a little bit soft when I'm hunting like a blind with a buddy heater. I don't like to choose to hunt that way. But when I'm hunting with youth, that all goes out the window. I'm hunting with whatever means necessary to keep them warm and to keep them comfortable and to keep them out there having lots of fun, so that we can gain an experience. Whether they see one, whether they shoot one, whatever it might be, you want them to be out there for a long time and have fun and be comfortable, because you don't want them to think about this bad experience that they had hunting that they never want to go again. And the last thing I'm gonna say is you wanna show them how to hunt. You're there obviously for them to gain an experience, but you don't want them to you don't want to do everything for them. If you're turkey hunting, you don't want to do all the calling, and it depends, of course, what age they are, and it's whatever is appropriate. You know, if they can just fire the shotgun or whatever it is, then that's fine. You know, maybe they really suck at calling. You know, my sons are terrible at it. But I let them do it a few times, you know, unless I got a bird coming in or something like that. If there's nothing out there, let them experiment with it. That's the only way they're going to get better. And that goes back to, you know, showing them beforehand what all this stuff does. And so they can kind of, maybe they'll really love maybe they really love a slate call and they think it's really interesting and they practice with it, you know. Maybe, and you got to get out there and you got to do it. That's the only way they're going to learn, is to get out and do it. So don't do everything for them, okay? While it can be super tempting because you want them to be successful, you want them to learn too. That's the main reason they're out there, is to learn, have a good experience, and if you're really, really lucky, sometimes they'll actually harvest something. The most important tip I can give you is to be safe. I think people overlook the fact that they're going out there with a weapon that can kill. You know, there's too many accidents going on. There's, you know, one accident is too many. So we have got to be, as hunters and as the caretakers of these new hunters that we're taking out, we have got to be careful. We have got to be safe. And I see it all the time, but I do not think it's a good idea to go out in the morning and say, here kid, here's a shotgun, let's go hunting. I think that's absolutely, I couldn't imagine, you know, you wouldn't go out there, hopefully, and having not shot a shotgun with a new gun or whatever, and just start shooting whatever he comes in contact with, right? It's not smart. It's not how, you know, we hunt. So it's not how a responsible hunter hunts. And so you're teaching them that as well, to be responsible. Okay, so you want them to grab that shotgun. You want to show them how it works. You want to, if it's a pump or whatever, you want to show them that. You want to tell them what things are, what things mean, how things work. You want them to shoot it, of course. You want them to pattern it, of course. Then you want to make sure they're familiar, not just like on a bench shooting or like sandbags, okay? Make sure they can shoot off of sticks. Make sure they can shoot, you know, from a prone position, from a sitting position. Like, have them shoot a lot to where, you know, obviously it's not uncomfortable, but you also want them to be completely and totally familiar with that shotgun or that rifle or bow or whatever it is they're taking. So also, I think people overlook the fact that they're going to have to be walking with it. You know, some kids might wake up in the morning and take a shotgun and you know, have to walk to their blind or whatever. And if it's too heavy with them, they can become unsafe with it. And so you want to make sure they understand about how heavy it is. They just need to be completely familiar with the weapon that they're taking out there. You know, it's just not good practice to give somebody a rifle or a shotgun or anything and say, let's just walk to the stand and you'll shoot whatever. You know, you got to take it seriously. It's safety, and it's the most important thing. There's just absolutely no way anyone should ever get hurt during turkey season. We have got to do everything we possibly can to prevent that. You know, if you're taking a youth out, you are totally and completely responsible for them. So with that being said, you know, I hope any of this stuff has helped you, and if it has, I would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. It really helps me, and I really appreciate the support. Anyway, I really hope you have a completely safe and super fun experience with your youth that you take hunting. Just remember that the most important thing is that they are safe and that they have fun. Thanks for watching. This is Chet Donath for Donath Outdoors. Happy hunting.